Hey, it's MK, and welcome to Kit Conspiracy, using my very first kit with my very first layout, and I am using the Carta Farmhouse Summer Kit. So I picked out the sticker sheet, and as you can see, I've used a couple stickers already because I usually work out of order. I start with what I feel like is the most intense layout, and then work my way through all the rest of the layout. So I already have some of my papers cut up, some of my tags cut up, a few of my embellishments picked out of the ephemera pack, and I do apologize that this layout is the very first layout, but I've already cut into my papers. Like, these were the tags that I shared with yesterday's paper, and there was tags on one side and then like card fronts on the other side. I have a scrap of paper here that was from the cut apart sheet. It was from the one that had all the labels and the tiny words and all that stuff. So I already cut into my papers. I'm just sharing with you guys the little elements that I've picked out for this particular layout. I have my photo, which I'm going to mount on a scrap piece of white cardstock. And then I have the 4x6 piece, which I believe I was going to use this tag and something else. But by the time that I get to recording, I already forget what I'm going to be using. For this one here, I thought I was going to use a few more pieces, but my layout ends up looking a little different than what I had envisioned, so sometimes it won't work for me. So I've got the 3x4 cards, and then the horizontal 4x6 cards, and yes, a lot of the elements that I've already fussy cut out of my papers. And then I'm going to use this honeycomb stencil that I purchased from a gal named Pam. She is back east, and she was selling off some of her scrapbook supplies. And so I bought all of her stencils, super excited to get her stencils. I love them all. I'm so excited. Sad that she is retiring from the craft, but I was excited to pick up her stencils. And then I'm going to use this particular stencil, but that is why her name is on this stencil. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out just a white mat, and then I'm going to double mat it on the on that little floral piece over there as well. I am going to fussy cut out some of my 3x4 cards. Now, I do have to tell you guys that I am at a crop, and it is easier in my small space that I have. It is a lot easier for me to go ahead and just hand cut all of this instead of constantly trying to find a spot to place my layout just to bring in my trimmer and then, cut all these things out with my trimmer. I also didn't think I was going to use all the 3x4 cards, and so I wanted to cut them out as I went along. That way I still had 12-inch strips of whatever the print was on the backside, which I think is the blue gingham is what is on the backside of this. So one of these cards I'm going to cut into a tag. However, I wanted to use the angle that was already on the tags that came in the kit, and so I just wanted to cut that, but I did also want to make sure that it was more tag-like and not 3 inches wide. So I definitely wanted to make sure that, I had a little bit of a skinnier tag, or it would have looked weird next to all the other tags. And then I'm going to cut out this blue, the tag that's on the blue polka dot print. Yes, I'm going to cut that one out as well. But I thought at first I wanted this frame. Maybe that's the piece that I was looking for from this particular sheet. I knew there was 2 pieces, but now that I'm thinking about it, I was like, maybe there wasn't 2 pieces. I don't know. But I think I was going to use that frame, or the chicken wire frame. I think I was going to use that as a layering piece, but then it didn't work when I put my photo on the floral pattern that I matted it on. So yeah, something like that. I'm not really sure. It's pretty sad that I don't remember what my brain was thinking. So because it's been a while since I've made these layouts. I do also have to tell you that the mat that I brought at this particular crop is this Heidi Swap green mat. It's great for travel because I can just roll it up and throw it in my suitcase. However, it's not great for my edge distressor because it likes to stick, like every single thing, every piece of lint, every eyelash hair, everything that you can think of likes to stick to this mat, and that drives me nuts. After every single layout, I did have to take a wipey, which I brought because I knew that that's what this mat is all about. I have to take a wipey and legit clean up the mat because I just can't work with all the things sticking to the mat. And that is a me problem, not a mat problem. But I just don't understand what was going on with the mat. But yeah, I usually use this mat for painting, my painting projects, when I'm doing my wood pieces and painting with acrylic paint. Totally home decor, not scrapbooking associated at all. But yes, that is usually what I use this mat for. But when I go to crops like this, where I'm limited on space and I want to travel light, then I definitely like bringing mats like this. And this one is larger than a couple of the other silicone mats that I've had back in the day. I don't have any anymore. I used to love my Close to My Heart mat, but it didn't work for double page layouts. It works perfect for a single page layout because it's just a hair bigger than the Tim Holtz original messy mat. But yeah, so I don't think I even have a Close to My Heart mat anymore. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I got rid of all of those. I think I got rid of all of them except for this one because I like the size of this one. It's not too large. It's not too small. And like I said, I can use it for my painting projects as well as a quick mat for all of the messy things I love to do on my scrapbook layouts. It does work for a quick mat when I want to travel light to some of the crops. So definitely. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and basically what I did was I laid out all the elements that I wanted to put on my page. And I traced them out so that way I knew where I wanted to put my stenciling. That's one of my favorite things to do because then I don't accidentally do too much stenciling or too little stenciling and then you can't see it and then I have to go back and try to stencil on top of everything I've just glued down. So that is another thing that I really love about this particular, doing it that way of lining everything down. And I'm just checking to see because now I seem like I'm going in super slow mode, but I wanted to check and see if, I'm on fast forward and it doesn't look like I am, but I am now. Anyways, sorry, it's been a while since I have done a voiceover, so I do apologize that it's kind of not the woohoo girlfriend that you're so used to type of thing. And yeah, this is pretty boring. But basically what I'm doing is I am going off camera and edge distressing all of my pieces because, again, I don't want the paper dandruff on this mat because that would drive me absolutely insane because you can't just wipe it off. It literally sticks to everything, like every little sliver of paper. I have a hard time trying to pick up off this mat because it is legit stuck. And one of the other things that drives me nuts is when I have a sliver of paper and I go to pick it up in the middle and it breaks in half and now I have three pieces because not only do I have the piece that's in my hand, but I have the two pieces that still are stuck to this mat. Oh, it drives me nuts. But again, it's a great messy mat for, if you want to travel light. It rolls right up and, it has its pros and cons. Yes, it does. So the first couple weeks that I'm doing Kit Conspiracy, you are going to see this mat. Another great thing too, though, is that it doesn't shine the lighting. And so that's, again, pros and cons of every mat. I love my glass mat, but it is heavy. I can't put it in my suitcase when I travel light. And when I do go to crops where I know that I'm limited on space, I try to take my suitcases instead of my crop bins. I have a bunch of rolling tote bins for going to crops, and that is when I know I have the space to take them. But when I'm going to crops where I know I don't have the space, I try to pack in suitcases, because then the suitcases are skinny, and depending on the ones that you take, some of them are tall, and I can pack my clothes in there as well as all my scrapbooking stuff, and keep everything in the bedroom instead of out in the craft space, where I know that the craft space is not very large. So just things to think of when you go to crops and whatnot, and aren't sure of what your space is. All right, so I am going to take my a couple of these little stickers. I picked this one here that's a rod with a bunch of hanging elements. I really like how it'll blend right in with the tags, and I'm able to add some things to it, like this cute little wreath, because I don't really feel like this is kitchen-esque, because the towels make me feel like they're kitchen. So I'm going to bring in this little wreath instead, so that way it portrays more of this is my family, and my family makes my home type of thing, is what I'm trying to portray with just these little hanging elements, because I had a little bit of dead space, but not as much as I thought I was going to have for what I initially wanted to plan putting there. So yes, I'm just trying to build up and basically hide the fact that those are kitchen towels, because they're not in the kitchen. They're actually at I believe they're at Isaac's school, and the teacher wanted to take a picture for a project that Isaac was getting ready to do. And so of course everybody's still in their jackets, because William still has to go to his classroom, and Isaac put his jacket in his cubby, and then Dad and sister's not old enough yet to go to school, so they still had their jackets on, because they were just popping in real quick and then taking off. Now, this product here, this twiny, hairy, fuzzy, I don't even know what it's called. I know the name of it. I will have to get you the name of it later, but or maybe or maybe after I'm done voiceovering, then I'll go look it up and I'll put it down below in the screen. But this is new to me product, and I've seen a lot of mixed media gals use it behind their elements. So they get done making all their mixed media backgrounds, and then right before they put the elements on, like their little saying that they usually put on on their layout or on their mixed media background, they add this hay type of stuff, or the straw type of stuff. And I just thought it was kind of cool, and it was very farmhouse-esque. So I thought it would be the perfect time to introduce you guys to this product, because it's really cool product, and a really great element without adding a lot of bulk to your layout. So it's not like adding, well, it is. It's kind of like adding the thread that a couple of the gals add as well. But I really felt like this type of product was great for the farmhouse feel. So once I figure out what it is, I will definitely add it to to the description box down below, or right here at the bottom of my video, if I haven't done that already. But I really wanted to share it with you guys. I just know it has a funny name. I really do. So anyways, I went ahead and added some to my background, but it does take a bit for my glue to soak through all the layers. So it soaks through from one paper layer through the stringy bits and then into the next paper layer. And so it just took a minute. And so while I'm waiting for that to dry fully, I'm going to go ahead and add my favorite twine in the whole wide world. I do have that link down below because that comes from Stampin' Up. And add that to my tags. And again, just that farmhouse feel where everything, well, to me, it seems like everything is wrapped in some sort of burlap or some sort of twine, whether it's super thick rope or jute or something like that. It seems like a few of the home decor items are wrapped in that type of thing, whether it's a tiered tray that's wrapped in it or a vase or something. And so I thought, you know what, this is perfect for that farmhouse feel as well. And I also like how it adds a little bit of element up in the white space. Even though it's not all the way up in the white space, I feel like it added that element. And the first element that I was going to put in the upper right hand corner was that that saying that's underneath the truck. I wasn't going to put the truck there, but I was going to put the saying up there. And to be honest, after I added my twine, I really didn't think I needed anything up there. Like the twine fixed that white space, which is kind of weird, but kind of nice too, because I felt like I really didn't add too much to the layout, but yet it was just what I needed up in that space. I don't know. It's how my brain works when I haven't crafted in quite a while. So because that stuff is up there, I didn't need anything up there. So in the upper right hand corner, sorry, that's where up there is. So now I feel like I need to add something to the bottom left hand corner. And so what I'm going to do, and I do apologize, I have a whole new camera set up and everything. So I still don't know where my registration lines are, even though I do later on in my recording adventure with my new setup. I do end up actually marking where the edges are, so I know keep my layout up higher and not too up high. So yes, there is that fine line. Oh my gosh. Oh, the woes of recording layouts. But I am going to take a couple sticker elements. I've got a little blue one that's already stuck down, and they're just little frames with things inside them, and I'm covering up the words and just using the framey bits. But I'm taking another green frame, and I did have to cut it down because it was a little bit too long. I didn't want this element to be too big. I just wanted the colors behind my little yellow saying, and then of course my little blue frame having just a little accent back there, and now I have a little green frame for another little accent. But I wanted to add a little bit more of that straw stuff behind, and because I didn't want to wait for the glue to dry, and I felt like if I did glue it down it would have popped up anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and use some little pop-ups. Now the pop-ups that I'm using, the foam pieces that I'm using, are actually, and it's kind of weird that I have this, but they're actually my travel pop-ups. They're my travel foam. And so what it is in certain collections and things like that, I collect all these little foam pieces that have come with collections, paper pumpkins, things like that, kits. And I put them all in a container, and now I have almost every adhesive that I could think of in a travel form. So that's kind of where all that foam came from. All right, so that is my layout for today. I absolutely love how it turned out and how simplistic it ended up being. I do apologize again for it being my, my third or fourth layout as opposed to what was supposed to be my first layout, but that's how it works. All right, you guys, don't forget to check out Janet Fritz's channel. She is my partner in crime in Kit Conspiracy, and her channel link is down below as well. And I also have the other videos from Kit Conspiracy from years past, if you guys want to go check out a few of those while we are working our way through this month and you guys are new here to Kit Conspiracy, go ahead and check out our other videos if that's what you guys want to do. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will check you guys all later. Bye.